Hi, this is Curt Barone, and welcome to another edition of Fire Law Roundup.
Last two cases we've got. And I'm gonna put them up. Well, I'm gonna put them up just because it'll facilitate the discussion here. But we've got two cases from the Topeka, Kansas, both filed, I believe, last week. And let me get it up here. Whoops. And gonna move my stuff around here. But here we go. This is the first one that I covered. I think the other one might have actually been filed first, but it's a Topeka, Kansas captain who is alleging race discrimination, disability discrimination, retaliation, and violations of the FMLA. And you can see some of the allegations in the window there. He's African American. He's got leukemia. Had been a firefighter for a number of years. Began working in '94. Made captain in August of 2015. And he apparently, I guess, he got sick or was diagnosed in 2018. Was looking for some positions that would accommodate his medical condition, and I guess he wasn't able to get any of those. He also asked to go on light duty, which they did put him in a light duty position, but they wouldn't let him get into the light duty positions that he wanted, and he was hoping to stay until age 60, but he used the expression "ride the car," which I'm assuming is act as a battalion chief, and that was apparently denied. I'm not sure why that was, but they
probably missing a class. They said he had to have the incident safety officer class.
Right, that's what they said, but then they allowed apparently a white captain to ride. But again, I don't know if we're talking apples to apples here, because he was requesting to go there permanently or semi-permanently, and the white battalion chief was just there for one day. So again, when you're looking for, like, if there's a battalion chief that's off for a long period of time and they're putting somebody in that acting spot, that's one thing. If you just, because somebody called in sick, we need somebody for the day, that's a different thing. So again, I don't know if we're apples to apples here, but that's one of the things that he's alleging. And but a lot of that stuff happened, I think, outside of the 300-day window for the EEOC. And for the complaints. And when you're alleging a violation of Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, you can only go back 300 days. So a lot of his allegations go back beyond his filing of an EEOC complaint. But at any rate, in March of 22, there were 4 division chiefs open. And that's important because you'll see in the next lawsuit that we're going to talk about, we have the exact same fact pattern, and that person is alleging gender discrimination because they didn't get the positions. But here, this captain is alleging race discrimination and also disability discrimination, in that he felt he was qualified for both the fire marshal and the chief of administration, and they gave the positions to someone who was Caucasian that apparently either didn't have the same qualifications or didn't even put in for the position. I think the fire marshal was given to someone who hadn't been a captain for 2 years. And then the chief of administration ended up going to someone who didn't even put in for it.
Right. It says he wasn't a captain with Topeka, which leads me to question if he was a supervisor someplace else.
Could be. Yeah, could be.
Did he lateral in?
Yeah. So again, race discrimination, disability discrimination, retaliation, and alleging a violation of the Family Medical Leave Act. So that's sort of case number one. And then case number 2 is a female captain with the Topeka, Kansas Fire Department, who's alleging that it was gender discrimination for her not to have gotten one of those 4 positions. And I think, yeah, she was going for the same two,
Same
the
two.
chief of administration and
Yeah,
fire marshal.
was she going for chief of administration or the inspection position?
Yeah, plaintiff. Yeah, this is her allegations. Plaintiff applied for both the chief of administration and the fire marshal.
Yeah,
position.
fire marshal. There you go.
Yeah, so they were both going for the same position, and she had been around for 24 years, and had been a captain for more than 2 years. So she interviewed for both positions, and a white male was offered the fire marshal position. And he did not meet the requirements for that position. And then the chief of administration was offered to a person who did not even apply for the position. That's got to be tough when you're applying for something and they not only don't give it to you, but they must have went looking for someone.
They tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Guess what?"
So at any rate, now here's the interesting thing: both the same department, 2 people vying for the same positions, they don't get them. One claims it's race discrimination and disability discrimination. The other claims it's gender discrimination. And here's the incredible point: the fire department could lose both of these, right?
Absolutely, very easily, I think too.
I mean, you can't, it's not necessarily one's going to win or they both could lose as well. I mean, that's another strong possibility here, but
Unfortunate.
yeah. So
you've got 2 people with a lot of experience on a job.
Yeah. So again, we don't know. I'm sure there's a lot more going on with both of these cases, but only so much makes it into the complaint, and that's what we're limited to.
But you don't want to lose that institutional knowledge.
Yeah. Well,
the one captain who's dealing with the leukemia, I can understand that's going to limit his ability, I would assume, to go out in the street and function, as a firefighter.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean he can't do other things.
Well, he ended up resigning, I believe, or taking an early retirement. Where did my thing go? Yeah, but he ended up taking an early retirement. But the interesting thing, he had leukemia in 2018, but he's alleging that it was race discrimination in 2022. It's one thing if you've you have a condition more recent, and then that's the reason why. But this, he apparently was able to function, I guess, in a light duty capacity for 4 years anyway, and opted to resign. So I don't know.